Edicts of the left have spread through most of American television. The only way to avoid the edicts is to stop watching television, watch old television shows and movies, or watch foreign television. The left also exists in foreign countries, but they have yet to push their messages into every nook and cranny of their country's entertainment product. It reminds me of the part of Monty Python's Spam routine where the waitress says, "Well, there's spam, egg, sausage, and spam. That's not got much spam in it." Foreign entertainment does not have much spam in it. Not yet. I would like to have a loose discussion about a few of the shows that I have watched in the last few months. Let us dig out the spam from the crevices. Swedish Dicks looks like an innocuous little sitcom, but the edicts are fully evident in the series. Much of the series involves two passive, sweet-natured men, Peter Stormy and Johan Glans, who get berated by terrifyingly aggressive, hot-tempered women. No woman is allowed to appear in the series unless she is willing to shout and brawl to get her way. The men do nothing more than hang their heads and take the abuse. It was funny when a woman harassed Abbott and Costello on their sitcom, but it wouldn't have been funny if every sitcom did this on every episode, and they did this on strict orders from standards and practices. Interestingly, no comment is made on the fact that Stormy has a black daughter in the series. He introduces his daughter to people, and no one ever looks surprised. This is color consciousness masquerading as color blindness. Timeless is a series about a team of government agents that travel through time. The series pilot rolls through the PC checklist. Women in charge? Check. Interracial romance? Check. Black man who is the smartest man in the room? Check. Here the smart man explains the awesome time machine that he single-handedly created. As far as the producers are concerned, the whole reason to make a show about people traveling back in time is to show that blacks and women were mistreated in the past. This is a programmer, Rufus Carlin. He panics when he is assigned to pilot the time machine to 1937 because he seems to think that he will be lynched or something in the past.
Do you need to go with them?
I can't. I am a coder, okay? That is what I'm good at, all right? I don't like to leave my desk, let alone go in there or back then. Also, I don't know how it works across the pond, but I am black. There's literally no place in American history that'll be awesome for me.
Cul-de-sac, a New Zealand sci-fi horror series, gives us the strong kick-ass female, the evil white male, the wimpy white male, and the sexy dark-skinned male. Rose, Greta Gregory, a 16-year-old high school student, wakes up one morning to find that all of the adults have mysteriously vanished, and technology has ceased to function. She is quick to take charge of the situation. She gathers together her two siblings, along with two children from neighboring homes. She makes the plans, she gives the orders, she takes the biggest risks.
Okay, so we were stuck in a big, spacious house, and now we're stuck in a tiny car.
Okay, part of the problem, I'm thinking. Okay. I'll distract Max away from the car, and you get everyone inside.
Are you serious? It's never gonna work.
Just do it. Now, make some noise. Get him away from my door.
At first, it seems that her love interest in the series will be Jack, who has lived across the road from Rosie since they were kids. The series literature notes the following about Jack. Over the years, he has developed feelings for Rose that he chooses to hide. But now that the world's changed, he wishes to show his affection through loyalty and wit. Rose gets tough while Jack wisecracks, which is the extent of his wit. His loyalty to Rose manifests itself in undying submissiveness. The bad guys are white alpha males headed by Donnie. The group has taken over the school and is controlling who can come inside for food and protection.
That girl wants to see you.
Where's my brother?
You were right, Rose. The people were getting really scared. So, they locked the entire school down. No one can get in or out without these.
Just tell me where he is.
Just relax, Rose. Everyone is safe for now. There's plenty of food and water, and we're secure. But eventually the people outside are going to start turning up, wanting what we have. We're going to have to defend ourselves. I'm afraid the little kids and the special needs ones, they'll only get in the way.
Take me to my brother.
Sure.
Rose and company meet up with Lucas, a teenage boy of Samoan descent. The series literature notes the following about Lucas. Raised by his dad after his mother died, Lucas depended on his ability to fend for himself and as a result built up a tough guy image at school. He lets people think this because it meant they left him alone, but Rose could see Lucas for who he truly was. Lucas is clearly a scary figure to Jack. Jack says, "Isn't that the guy who set fire to his last school?" Lucas replies, "Don't believe everything you hear." The truth remains that Lucas is tough while Jack is soft. Lucas draws the interest of Rose. KJ Apa, the actor who plays Jack, said, "Lucas comes in and kind of takes that away from him, so there's a little bit of a rivalry there." Jack is left to take care of Rose's brother and sister, while Rose and Lucas head off together to investigate their mysterious situation. The biggest threat is spooky creatures called creepers. The pint-sized siblings prove to be more resourceful than their skittish nanny in warding off the creatures. Donnie is willing to abandon the weaker children in his obedience to a powerful supernatural entity called the Walking Man. He says, "Stop running, Rose. There's nowhere to hide. Give yourself to the Walking Man, and he will protect you. He needs people like us, strong people who can help him build this new world." Rose makes it clear that she wants nothing to do with a world where the strong decides who lives and who dies instead of using their power to make things better. Immediately after rejecting Donnie's proposal, Rose attempts to throw herself off a roof to a certain death. Selflessness can be self-destructive. Rose has obviously never read Ayn Rand. To be frank, the migrant crisis has me rethinking my views on charity towards my fellow man. It would be foolish under these complex and dire circumstances not to consider Rand's theory of rational self-interest. It's not that I can ever agree with Donnie. His mind has been corrupted by the Walking Man. He is asking Rose to abandon her two younger siblings, which is horrible. But I sense a subtext that links cul-de-sac Donnie to build-a-wall Donnie. Donnie wants to prevent hundreds of frightened, helpless children from gaining access to the school in the same way that Donald Trump wants to prevent masses of immigrants from gaining access into the United States. In the last year, we have seen a number of films and television characters modeled after Trump. We've already seen a migrant crisis parallel created in more obvious terms on the Game of Thrones. So it's not far-fetched to perceive anti-Trump virtue signaling in cul-de-sac. Let us step away from the cul-de-sac situation to examine the general self-righteous pro-migrant stance that has been disseminated by Hollywood. A strong man using his abilities to make things better for weaker men is not always an option. Circumstances, often grim and desperate circumstances, have more to do with determining who lives and who dies. The fact that a person uses his strength to assure his own survival during a disaster is not an evil deed. To paraphrase Lenny Bruce, this is hauling your ass to save your ass. It's not that Rose has to add Rand to her reading list. Just pull out a book of old fables. Imprudent charity was condemned in The Ant and the Grasshopper, The Turtle and the Scorpion, and other fables. Sometimes words that sound noble in a Hollywood drama need to stay in a Hollywood drama. Rose certainly sounds noble.
Stop running, Rose. There's nowhere to hide. Give yourself to the Walking Man and he will protect you. He needs people like us. Strong people who can help him build this new world.
Well, if this new world has anything to do with your world, where the strong decide who lives and who dies instead of using their power to make things better, then I want nothing to do with it or you.
But her pretty words can be too simplistic and too impractical to apply in real life. It is not a matter of the powerful helping the weak. That idea only works if everyone is responsible, trustworthy, and cooperative, and everyone is joined together in a common cause. Charity has its limits. A person can only help another person as far as their resources will allow. Take, for example, a black sheep brother who is always getting into trouble. You can bail him out just so many times. That's your brother. You grew up under the same roof together. But you can only do so much, and sometimes you have responsibilities to yourself, your wife, and your children that must take priority. You are welcome to my help if I can spare it. The typical working class American is struggling to take care of their children, pay their mortgage, and keep themselves and their family healthy and safe. It is hardly reasonable to describe them as powerful. Human existence is a struggle, and every one of us has to do our part to survive. It is fair for you to set conditions before you sacrifice time, labor, or money to help a family member or a friend. You have control of the situation. It's not charity if it's not voluntary. Every person has a right to decide for themselves who they will help and the circumstances under which they will provide help. A person has no reasonable incentive to help another person who they don't believe is decent. My sympathies will forever be focused on decent people. Decent people are people who conform with generally accepted standards of respectable or moral behavior. For sure, I will never have sympathy for or provide service to a criminal or a terrorist. The brother's keeper ethic requires that I don't exploit others, and I express kindness and courtesy in my manner towards others. It does not mean emptying out my bank account so that I can toss currency out of my front door to the first random passerby. It certainly does not mean that I need to use my money to support an unfriendly character who will likely do me harm. It is never virtuous to serve vice. That's a Rand idea. Being hardworking and sincere is the best form of fellowship. I believe, too, in treating others the same way that I want others to treat me. I would never ask a neighbor to give me money out of his daughter's braces fund. I would not have this poor girl go through life with crooked teeth because I was between jobs and I was having trouble paying my car insurance. Let me finally get back to cul-de-sac, which has nothing to do with paying out your daughter's braces money to a useless brother. The specific point that I want to make about the series is that it's wrong to conflate the ongoing migrant crisis with a supernatural crisis that leaves cute school children without their parents. If that's what the producers of this series are doing, it is the worst form of manipulation. Crazy Head, a British comedy horror series, involves an unambitious bowling alley attendant, Amy, who suddenly finds that she has the ability to see demons. Amy joins Rachel, a demon hunter with her own special powers. We have a number of supporting characters in the story. Jake, a co-worker, has a crush on Amy, but he is a fairly wimpy guy, and Amy feels no sexual attraction to him. She is attracted to Rachel's brother, Tyler. This is the demon mastermind, Callum, also dubbed the Big Evil Prick by Rachel. Jake has given Amy a ride to Rachel's apartment. While he cluelessly waits in his car grooving to a dance mix CD, Amy is in Rachel's apartment grabbing hold of Tyler's penis. No, really. She does not treat Jake in a respectful manner. When Jake becomes possessed, Amy subjects him to an exorcism ritual that requires her to squat over him and piss. Yes, she actually pisses on him. Amy's demon-slaying partner is black. Her love interest is black. And her best friend Susan is black. The one white male in the group is Jake, who is the group's least reputable member. And then we have Calum and his minions, which are made to look like a bunch of white nationalists. Rachel impulsively lip-locks with boys that she finds attractive. Every one of the boys is white. Rachel falls in love with Harry without realizing that he is one of Callum's minions. But Harry falls in love with her too. Interracial love defeats evil. It is indeed our message for the day. I thank you for watching. Please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel.